Okay, so we will start. So what is cookie and how using cookie the server is knowing multiple requests coming from a particular client. A cookie is a small piece of information, which is persisted or that is persisted between the multiple client of request, So cookie is a small piece of information. We will see how we will create a cookie. It is persisting in between multiple client requests. So basically cookie is creating in server side. So when we will create a servlet, so in servlet we will see, we will create a cookie. A cookie has a name, have a single value, containing a single value, because I told it is containing a small piece of information, and some optional attributes like maximum age, cookie have age, version number, etc. But these are the what optional attributes. Then there are two types of cookies. Cookies in servlet. One is non-persistent cookie, and another is persistent cookie. One is non-persistent cookie, another is persistent cookie. Non-persistent cookie meant for single session only, and it is removing when the user will close the browser. Suppose I will open a browser and I am doing something. Then when I am closing the browser, then session will expire. So that is the concept of non-persistent cookie. Persistent cookie meant for, or it is valid for multiple sessions, and it will remove when the user will perform any logout or sign out operation. You remember? Okay, so we will consider an example. Through that example, we will get the clarity. Okay, so what is a cookie? How to create a cookie? Then using cookie, we will perform session management. You see, the mechanism is there is a client side and there is a server side. There is a client side and this is server side. Now the first request is going from client to server. This is request 1. The server checked one request came and the concept of a cookie have used. So in later on in example I will show you so how to create a cookie, especially cookie is a built-in class name when I will create a cookie object, so that representing cookie. So then let my cookie name is CK suppose, then the server will provide the response. The server will provide the response. So whatever the cookie have created at the server side, that cookie will come along with response. This point that you have to remember. So again I am repeating, when the first request is going from client to server and server is providing the response to the client, or as per the client requirement server is providing the response. But here in this context server is providing the response along with the cookie. Now cookie is at the client side, cookie creating at the server side but persisting at the client side. When from that client second request will go to the server, second request will go to the server, request 2, then whatever the cookie that have come along with response 1, along with the response 1, so that cookie will go with a request 2. This is the point that you have to know. So when the request 2 is going from client to server, so that request is going along with that cookie, whatever the cookie that the client have got along with a response 1. So when the server will see the request 2, but request 2 along with the cookie CK, then server can recognize to whom? To cookie, and server will process this cookie that I had sent with a previous response. Again this cookie that have come along with this request, that means previous request, for previous request whatever the server have given the response, and this request coming from a particular client, single client. So in this way the server is recognizing, the server can recognize previous request and current request coming from a particular client. This is called as the concept of cookie concept, and this is called as session management. So I hope everybody got clarity. Then we will go to an example for better clarity. So now we will see an example for better clarity. Suppose first of all we have to know what is our problem task. Suppose we have a form. Let my form name is suppose first.html, one HTML file that we have. Let's suppose there is one attribute name, there is a text box, there is a command button, let the value of the command button is OK. Now when action will generate, when I will click on command button, one servlet will execute, let the servlet name is first servlet.java. So what is the purpose of this servlet? The purpose is to process form data, whatever the user will give the value of a name. So one response that we will get, suppose let hi, suppose I will give a value, suppose John, then a response will come hi John to process the form data that already we have known. Second thing is, here we will create a cookie. We will create a cookie. Then another command button the servlet will produce in the form of output. Okay, so let the value of the command button is go, suppose. So this is the output screen. Servlet, first servlet.java will generate the output hi John, and one command button will display, and the value of the command button is go. Then whatever this is the output of servlet.java. Then again when I will click on command button, again action will generate. Once action will generate means request will go, we will get a response. So we have to represent multiple requests. So first action generated, one request have generated, second action when we will do, then another request have generated. Then again when I will click on go button, then another servlet will execute. Let this servlet name is, suppose second servlet.java. Second servlet.java. So what is the purpose of this servlet? You remember, suppose whatever the cookie have created in first servlet, and whatever the cookie containing information, currently we studied cookie containing a small piece of information. So that information I will give, welcome that information. Suppose let it John. John is the name value, this is information. So the cookie containing the small information, that is the name value, that is John. So that cookie information that I will get here, so I will get welcome John. So this is my problem task. We have a form, so that is first.html output. So one attribute name, this is nothing but a text box. So this form data will process by first servlet.java. So what first servlet is producing the output. So one response message that will give hi John. We will create a cookie in first servlet, and also it will generate an output that is a command button, and the value of the command button is go. So when I will click on that command button, then another servlet will execute. So what is the purpose of another servlet? So whatever the cookie containing information that we will get in second servlet, and as a response message that we will give, so welcome John, as a response message that we will get welcome John. So now we will go to our Eclipse environment. Okay, so already we have created a project structure. So now, so before that, you see what is my required files that we have to develop. Required files that we have to develop. First .html file, second first servlet.java, third second servlet.java, then fourth is web.xml file. So already I have given the clarity regarding web.xml file. So it is called as deployment descriptor file. This file is containing the deployment details about a particular servlet. So this file is common to every servlet. So now we will go to Eclipse environment. First we will create first.html file. So how to create HTML file, that already we have known. Right click on web app folder, new HTML. Now my file name is first. Click on finish button. Okay, so I will create a form first. Let's suppose that form I will keep in center. Suppose I will give a name. Suppose I will give a header my form. Let it. Okay, so I will create a form. So from the discussion, from the analysis of problem test, when action will generate in first.html file, then first servlet.java will execute. First servlet is our servlet. So what I will write, form action equals to first servlet. Okay, so then suppose I will create this form using a table format, using table tag, table. So then row tr for row, then td for data. First attribute is name, so td end. So in our previous class that already we have seen how to create a login form using table tag, using tr tag, using td tag. So then td, there is a text box, input type equals to text, let name equals to name, then td end. Okay, then tr end. So this is for one row. So in one row, what it is representing, in one row there is an attribute name and there is a text box. Simply I copied, then I will paste here. Then second point is there is a command button. So input type equals to submit, let value equals to OK. Okay, then table end, then form end, then center end. This. So this is my first.html file. So simple form that I created, and this representing when action will generate, first servlet.java will execute. So next point is, immediately we have to develop a servlet, that is first servlet. So already so many servlets that already we have developed. So already we have a first servlet.java. This file I can update also. So now I will open that file, first servlet. Okay, so this part already we have known, already we have discussed. Servlet is nothing but a subclass, class name, extends HTTP servlet. Okay, HTTP servlet is a built-in class coming from Java x.servlet.http package. Okay, so this part already we have known. Though what is the purpose of first servlet? What is the purpose of first servlet? So first we will process our form data. So we have one attribute. So I will write word string s1 equals to request dot get parameter within bracket. What I will write? So what we have written, name equals to name. So this name we will write. So this part already we have known. So whatever the value of name the user will give, that name value will assign in S1. So first response is what? One output statement I will write, out.print You see whatever the architecture, hi John, first response message. So I will write hi, then s1 value. So if the name value we will give John, so that value John, so we'll assign in s1. So this is the first task. Second point is what? So as per our analysis, we will create a cookie. We will create a cookie. Create a cookie. You remember, cookie is a built-in class name. Cookie is a built-in class name. So if I will create an object of cookie, so since it is a class, so happily we can create an object class name. Object name equals to new class name. Let cookie ck equals to new cookie. Okay, so you remember cookie is a built-in class name. So happily I can create an object of cookie. So class name object name equals to new class name, that already we have known. Then, so what the concept is saying, cookie is containing a small information. Then cookie have a name. Suppose cookie have a name I will give. Suppose any cookie have a name. Suppose cookie name is uname. Suppose username. Then cookie containing information. So here information is name value. Name value assigned in s1. So I will write s1. So this line representing what? We created a cookie. The cookie object, the cookie class object, that is representing cookie. Cookie have a name. Uname is the name of the cookie. Cookie containing information s1. What is s1? S1 is containing name value. So cookie containing information as per the concept that we presented. Then again concept is saying what? Currently I was telling, the cookie will come along with response to the client. When the server will provide the first response to the client, so cookie will come along with response. So that part also we will represent. So how? So what I am writing, you see, a response dot, there is a method add cookie. There is a method add cookie. And within bracket I wrote ck, cookie name. So whatever the response is coming to the client, the cookie will come along with response. How I will represent? You see, there is a built-in method name is add cookie. Method name is add cookie. It is a built-in method coming from HTTP servlet response interface. That's why it is invoking by a response object. So this servlet second objective complete. Now third objective is one command button will display. One command button creating is submit button. So it will display. So display means we have to write in output statement out.print. Then in that button, whatever the button will display, again we will click on that button, then another action will generate, second servlet.java will execute. So I can write in this way, form action equals to second servlet, in this way. So you see one point you remember, actually we should give here double quote, but here within bracket in a line from the beginning already we have given a double quote. Then you remember one point, in a line once you have given a double quote and in that line another double quote symbol that is requiring, so in that place we will give single quote, not double quote. This point to remember. Okay, so second servlet Actually we should give a double quote, but double quote already we have given here. Okay, so within a bracket once double quote we will give. So in where we will give a double quote, in that place we will give a single quote. Okay, so whatever we have the logic, so that I will write within output statement. So out.print, okay, out.print. So I will create a command button. Same way, input type equals to submit, value equals to go. So everything I will write output statement, out.print. So now form ends this. So this is the third objective of this servlet. This is the third objective of this servlet. Control S. So now you see first servlet.java we developed in this way. So first this servlet will give a response hi John. Then we created a cookie. Let cookie is ck. That cookie have a name. Let the name is uname. Cookie containing information. That information is s1. S1 is containing the name value. Then after that we will create a submit button. So that submit button will display in the picture. Okay. Then when action will generate, control will go to second servlet.java. Okay. Now we will create second servlet.java. So right click on package, new servlet. So class name is second servlet. Click on next option. This is my URL pattern. Click on next. So I will select get method, then click on finish button. So already we have known. So various servlets that already we have developed. So in our own style that we will write. So we will import our package javax.servlet.star package, import javax.servlet.http.star package, import java.io.star package. So this part you just simply remove, and this part you remove. Okay, so first two line is common, response dot set content type, so text or HTML, print a writer out equals to a response dot get writer. Okay, so this two line is common, that already I have given the clarity. So set content type is a built-in method which is invoking by response object and taking what argument we are specifying, text or HTML, which type of content that we want to set as response, text content or HTML content. Similarly, so out is an object that we have to get because our output statement is out.print method. So out is a print writer type of object. Okay, so this is the point number one. So this is common, this two line is common to every servlet. So as per our task analysis, what is the purpose of second servlet.java? Whatever the cookie have created in first servlet and the cookie containing information, that information we will get in second servlet. You remember, so when cookie is creating, this is the most important point that you have to remember. When the cookie is creating and cookie containing information, internally an array is creating. Cookie information is assigning in an array, but which type of array? Cookie type of array, because cookie is a class. Cookie is a class name, class is a type. Again I am repeating, you remember. So cookie information is assigning into an array internally. So that array is which type of array? Cookie type of array. Okay, so that array how I will get? Request dot, there is a method, you remember, get cookies. There is a method get cookies. Get cookies method. So when there is a built-in method named as get cookies method invoking by request object, it is coming from HTTP servlet request interface. Then it is returning an array of type cookie. So an array of type cookie. So let an array of type cookie. This. So since it is an array, so in an array, so cookie containing information, particularly here in our task, cookie containing the name value, so that is in 0th index position, because this is the one value. So once an array is creating, so array means it is what? Consisting 0th index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index. So first value definitely that will assign in 0th index. So what I will get directly, I will write an output statement, out.print method. So as per the analysis, welcome that information. So I will write welcome. Then array name is ARR of 0. So particular that value if I want to get, so there is a method get value method. Which method? Get value method. This. So again I am repeating, there is a built-in method get cookies. When it is invoking by request object, it is returning an array of type cookie. So once we got an array, let the array name is ARR. So ARR of 0, this is the first information. So if I want to get that particular value from that array, so there is a built-in method get value method. By invoking get value method, we will get that value. So how I will write? This is the way. ARR of 0 dot get value. Okay. So now second servlet clear. So I hope everybody got clarity. Now first .html we completed. First servlet.java we completed. Second servlet.java we completed. Then we will go to our web.xml file. We have to develop our web.xml file. So first of all, I have to set my welcome file. My welcome file is first.html. My welcome file is first.html file. Welcome file means which output is coming first when I will execute whole application. So that for corresponding file we have to set, and that file will consider as welcome file. So already we know that how to develop web.xml file. So servlet begin, then servlet end. So within that, so I will write what is the servlet name. Let servlet name is ABC. Then so I will end this tag. Then servlet class name, servlet class. So class, how I will specify? Package name com.Silan. Package name is com.Silan. Then dot class name is first servlet. This part already we have known. Servlet class I will end. So then servlet mapping begin and servlet mapping end. So in this is the attribute, then sub attribute what I will write here, same servlet name I copied, I will paste here. Then another sub attribute is URL pattern, your slash class name, first servlet So I will end URL pattern tag. So this is for one servlet. Servlet begin, servlet end. Servlet mapping begin, servlet mapping end. So within that, what I will put the tag, first is servlet name. So first we will write servlet name. So any name that I gave. Okay, then servlet class. So in servlet mapping begin and end, two sub attribute I will put servlet name and URL pattern. So now this is for one servlet. I copied and I pasted here. For another servlet, in place of ABC I will write DEF. So this is the second servlet, same point, DEF slash second servlet. Okay, Control S. So this is my web.xml file. The importance of web.xml file is very high, because whatever the server, when it is coming to execute, first the server is getting information about the servlet from this file. What is the servlet name? What is the servlet class name? What is the servlet URL pattern? So this information the server will get from this file. So in this way, our all required files we developed. So first .html file we completed, first servlet.java, this file we completed, second servlet.java, this file we completed, and this is my web.xml file. Now I will run. So how to run? Right click on the project, then run as, run on server, select server name, click on next option, select project name, then click on finish button. So now the server is executing. So we will see first the form will come to the picture. Okay, so this output that we got. So as per the analysis, so I will give a value, name value. Suppose I provided John. Now I will click on OK button. So when I will click on OK button, then first servlet.java will execute, and first servlet.java will provide the response. Now I will click on OK button. You see, we got the response. Hi John, and there is a command button or submit button, and the value of the button is go. So as per the analysis that we got response. Now again when I will click on go button, so I will get welcome John. Now again I will click on this button, then second servlet.java will execute. Now you see, I will click on go button, then I got welcome John. Okay, so this is our desired output that we got by executing the application. So I hope everybody got clarity. Give a response.